Hello and good evening. Welcome to PLO Evening with me. I'm Kyyberi. This is hosted by PortRineMania.com. I made a small test stream just a few minutes ago to see if my internet connection is working. I changed the cable for the modem today, so it might help with the issues we have had lately. If it doesn't work, then I have my backup plan here. Hope we don't need to use that, but please give me feedback about the quality of the stream. I will monitor my end of the stream, but I have no idea how it looks in your eyes. So if the stream is really bad in quality, just let me know and let's see if we can do something about it. So today we are not going to play at PokerStars. As I said in the forum, we are going to try something different. And we are going to play on micro gaming network on 24H-bet. And I actually tried it yesterday, and there were 3 villains in the table, and each had VPIP over 60 and pre-flop raise under 10. So there were quite many coin stations. Of course, the problem now is that there's no waiting list. If I put myself into waiting list, oh, here we have one table. Let me see if I can open it. Often one of the reasons why people don't like to play on other networks is that when you are, did I get it? Yes. Woo, we are on the table. One problem is that we can find another PLO4. I thought about playing PLO10 and PLO4. These are in euros. Our bankroll is around $200, which is less in euros. And maybe get a PLO20 table open if we can find one, and depending on how the action goes. So one of the reasons why people don't like to use these smaller networks is that the software is pretty crappy when you compare it to PokerStars. Like here on the lobby you don't have any waiting lists, so to find a table and do table select, it takes even more effort than it would in PokerStars. And the other problem is that there aren't a lot of action. Like in PLO10 there are 3 tables open, PLO20 there are 3 tables open, 4 tables open, PLO4 2 tables open. So I'm probably going to open one PLO10. I'm going to start up one table. So let's see if we can get customers into it. So if we want to be able to multi-table like 8 tables or 12 tables or 16 tables, you have to mix a lot of states. And that creates some challenges on itself. Okay, now we have one PLO10 table open. Woo! I haven't played in micro gaming for, I don't know, year. I don't know how long it has been. So probably most of the opponents are sort of unknown. And here on demo 1 we flopped the nuts, so I'm just going to put it, it's PLO4. And here on the demo 2 I'm going to trip it even crappy aces. But then when the flop is Jack 7-3, probably not much we can do like that. Where's the reset there? Yeah. one problem is that the HUD isn't working perfectly. You have to reset it all the time. And here no one bets, and too bad we don't have the straight. It would be so sick if we win this spot, because it's someone has to hit it. And wow, he had the second nuts and he doesn't bet. Nice. Where do I open the hand history? Is it in here? Oh wow. Look at this. Oh, this is the hand history where you can just, can't you make it smaller? Oh yeah, I probably said this before that it sucks. Calling 3 bets. He's calling my 3 bet, cold calling ace queen 8 deuce. Wow, look at these hands. On them before, there was 3 unknown heads up pot on the button. Opens. I'm going to call. If he bets $1, I'm so inclined to raise here. Just make him fold a ton and he insta calls. Oh. So now his most likely hand is some kind of overpair and flush draw, and I think he should be able to fold it some of them. Of course, if he has a full house, he's going to shove here and we have to fold. And he calls with try queens, okay. So he pretty much had the hand we put him on, but he just can't fold. Sometimes that happens. I don't know what he was thinking there, because he had try queens on this board. When I call the flop and check raise the turn, I'm not sure what he's going to put me on. And 3 even complete some of the straights. Of course, I shouldn't probably have a lot of straights, but I'm not sure what he can beat. Total air. Would I call flop, check raise turn, and fire river with air? Or the other explanation is that he's playing hold'em. I actually talked with one student of mine in poker, and he said that he has played some PLO, but he doesn't understand the game, so he plays it like hold'em. So that it explains a lot. Nothing is going on. Often with these kind of players that we have here, it takes ages for them to decide what they do with their hand. It's like sometimes there's a VPIP 100 players with big sample size. Like there was one guy, sample size was over 100 hands and his VPIP was 100. So he's playing every hand and still he thought almost the whole timer before deciding if he calls with his hand. And he always did. So I don't know what is he thinking. Well, as it seems, now we will have a lot of time to talk about. If you have any questions or topics in your mind, I have one table here on the outside. that I'm going to show you when we have some action. And table 1, really tight player, 3 bets. I'm not a huge fan of the call, but I think we have to call. We have this Honda lover here, and we have the position. We can see the flop if we hit anything and then decide if we want to get him in. Here we have a double cut shot, so I think we have to call and hope he folds or call. Just don't shove. And when he calls the flop bet, he's not folding on the turn, so there's no reason to bet here. And let's see if we can hit the 9 or queen. And we don't. Kinda sucks. And he didn't have aces. King, jack. Wow. DIS is asking, how can you play PLO Totem easy? Pocket jacks is pocket jacks, pocket queens is queens. You go crazy with pocket queens like here. You just use the hold'em ranges. You open, if you have any hold'em hand in your 4-card hand, which means that you're going to play most of the hands, and so on. 2 pairs is 2 pairs, so if you're going to call with 2 pairs in hold'em in a spot, you're going to call in PLO2 and so on. And now we wait. Oh, I wish there were faster time banks. Probably this is the reason why people love Zoom. You don't have to wait. But now, please give me some topics to discuss about, because it seems that we will have a lot of time to talk about stuff. And maybe in an hour or 2, when we have played few orbits, we can discuss about our opponents. This guy is definitely worth of green marker. Oh yeah, this is the problem in microclaiming. This marker doesn't show in each table in this session. I'm going to steal, because this Krypton is looking to be a really tight one. So we can steal the blinds quite often. Honda lover is playing PLO4 and PLO10. So he is probably one of the regulars. 3319. Probably one of the regulars here. Often in the smaller networks there are few regulars that you will see on most of your sessions. And as you can open fewer tables, it means that you have to play more of your hands against that regular. Like in stars, you're playing versus regulars a lot, but there are different regulars. Here might be that you have this Honda lover on almost every table in your session, which means that most of the hands includes him. So then it becomes super important that once you have a sample size out of those players, you try to find patterns in the play and you make notes, because if you can exploit these regulars, then your win rate goes sky high. And trust me, every PLO10 and PLO4 regular has a lot of leads. Thinking about if we bet here 5 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents, aren't they going to fold often enough? if they fold everything but the flush and sets, yes, they are going to fold often enough, but often they are calling with one pair, two pairs, straight draws. So the folding equity is not as high as it could be. Yeah, if you play Hold'em in PLO, never fold any pocket pair, any suited connectors, or any ace X hand. So you're going to play 85% of the hands, probably. But especially at PLO2, PLO4 tables, there are often players that think that PLO is Hold'em with just 4 cards, which means that they are going to overplay overpairs. Like, when the flop is 7-7-5, people make call downs with pocket 9s, pocket 10s, which is quite sick in my mind versus unknowns. When someone fires 3 streets, pretty strange hand on table 1. No one bet the flop, no one bet the turn, or did he? And then on the river he fires. It's always so strange when he doesn't bet the flop, but on the blank turn he suddenly starts to fire and he's aggressive. So probably had a lot of bluffs in his range. Wow. River nuts and won 33 cents. Stream seems to be working fine. So at least that is good. We have ace, king, king. We have a calling station here. I'm going to actually 3-bet him. And he calls. Number 1, I'm just going to call with king, king, queen then. Let's create a big multi-way pot. And we flop almost nothing, but I'm going to value bet versus this guy. And ace is pretty good, although it's bad the spade completes. I don't think he's going to turn any of his hand into bluff, so if he bets, he has us beat. Now when he checks, it's actually pretty nice, because now we beat all his 2 pair. On the outside table, PLO on its worst happens. Sorry for the really crappy replay, but basically we have top pair and we pick up a flush draw on the turn. Opponent calls the flop, checks the turn, and then bets the river. And when he just, I mean, he calls the turn, calls flop, calls turn, donks river. What I was trying to say, sorry, I have to play a few hands. Here, when he calls the flop, he shouldn't have a lot of 2 pairs or sets. And on the turn, when he calls, he doesn't have a straight. And now on the river, he bets. So it makes me think he has queen 10 type of missed draws often, but he had runner on a full house. So yeah, you can see he calls the flop with middle pair and cut shot. But it kind of sucks when they make those backdoors, though. You think that he's representing really narrow range. Here on table 3, definitely we're going to call against this fish. He probably has the flush, but if the board pairs, he's not folding his flush. And chances he might have set of 7s. He checks and we can go to showdown. Now to go 2 euros with the set, we need to win it 4 times, we need to win 8, and after the call the pot is going to be 7, so if we can get 1 euro from him if the board pairs, we can justify the call. So definitely we call. And here we get money in with aces, and he is drawing almost dead on the turn. We won 80 cents. And on table 3 the board doesn't pair, so he bets the river and we fold. End of story. And why this HUD isn't working here? Down. We hit the middle set on table 4. What we know about Derby is that VPIP is high, only C bets 33%. So I'm going to donk. He's going to check back a lot of his hands, so I'm going to donk here. And king is, in a way it's a nice card. He has a lot of king XXX hands and he shouldn't have a full houses. But the problem is that once he calls, unless the turn is 10 or 9 or deuce, it kind of sucks for us. Because then now we don't know if he has the 6. But I'm going to value bet the river. If he has a king, he's going to call us anyway. And he shoves. And now the question is, does he have a king 6 or not? And I'm going to call. We block 9s. King deuce is such a strange hand. And he had a king deuce. Well, he's going to. But the river shove, we get such a great price. If he can shove ace king, then we have to call. But he's going to have so many just trips there. Table 3, we have a wrap. Let's see if he gives us odds. Basically, when we have 13 outs, I mean 9 outs, sorry, then we're going to hit 1 out of 5 times, so to call 180. We need to win $9. After the call, the pot would be 580. So we need to win at least $2.50 from him if we hit the straight. And I think we can do that. But we don't hit the draw, so we have to check fold. Pretty familiar story. I have to fold. Bottom left against the button open. Well, can we? Is it this one? King Jack 8? No, it's not this one. Can't find the hand. Oh, we don't have it here. On bottom left. King Jack 8 double suited. When the button opens, if it was this dolly on, he's 18-12. It's kind of hard to get value out of position. And King Jack 8 is not going to flop a lot of really strong hands. So most of our hands are kind of semi-hits if we hit something. And how to play, if we check call and then passive line with the draws, it's so obvious we have draws, really hard to get implied odds that we need. If we check raise, what if the opponent shoves? We might be dominated. So as overall, I like to play tight from the blinds. And here we get a 3-bet from dolly. Should be aces often, of course, we have a premium hand. And we miss the board. Often when you play at micros, you don't have that much folding equity post-flop, which means that there aren't that many bluffs you can make. So most of the time to make money you need to value bet. So it's important that your ranges are strong, because especially at PLO4, PLO10 against these type of players, you make money by having a stronger range than your opponent. So you can dominate your opponents. You have the top two pairs, you have the top set, you have the nut straight, you have the nut flush, and so on and so on. Instead of drawing to the third nut flush, having a bottom set, having bottom two pairs. That's the difference in making money or not. Oh, there's the washing machine. Oh, I have to close the door. I assume that the sound goes through when the door is open, unless it stops now. But so far, nothing has really gone our way. Well, we won 80 cents on table 1 with aces, but other than that, we lost 1 buy-in with the set. We lost almost 2 buy-ins or over 2 buy-ins with the draws that don't hit. At least we have 1.5 hours to climb up. But as we have seen, there's a ton of value, like flies in here, cross flop c-bet with just middle pair. And like here, 61, 26, 75, 50. Oh, I love these players. VPIP 50. There was 48, 7, 50, 90, 41, 11. Wow. It's like fish pond. Now we just need some hands that we can play. 7-5, double suited. Oh, I'm going to call there. Let's see, if he bets around half pot 25, I'm going to raise to 65. If he folds everything but king, jack, straight draws and overpairs, we are going to print money. So I'm going to close the door. Just a second. Alright, and I am back. As a rule of thumb on the blinds, if we don't want to give our opponent a chance to exploit our tightness by opening any 4 from the button, as an average, we should defend at least around 20% of our blinds. If we fold more than 80% on our blinds on average, then the opponent can open any 4 from the button. And I think that is a good starting point. By defending around 20%, so just go to Pro Poker Tools and check top 20 or find where is the borderline with hands that are in top 20. Table 3, I'm going to bluff the flop, and here we can get the money in with the nuts, and I'm going to actually make a thin value bet on table 3. Oh, we make a full house, wow! Thin value bet against flush draws. But yeah, now and he bets. Okay, you can have it. Table 3 is not my favorite. Can we represent? Oh, we have a 3. We can value bet it. I was instantly thinking, can we represent anything here to make a bluff? But we have a trips, and no one bet the turn, so no one probably doesn't have a queen. Oh, it's PLO10. Should have probably opened the hand if I want to play. Thought it was PLO4. That's the problem when playing different stakes, that you might be confused by the bet sizings. And we make up the bottom wrap here. Can we make them? Can we semi-bluff? Hundalover is a tied one. Yes, we can, because he's going to fold on. So this is the guy we are worried about, and he raises. This raise just doesn't make sense unless it's a pocket tens, and of course then it makes sense. I'm going to check call the river on here. When Hundalover calls, he has something, so he has a lot of higher straight draws. That's why I folded, and flush draw is not out. But oh, they both have a set. He had aces, and wow. Oh dear, I'm out of words. Just flat aces pre-flop, then slow plays on the flop, and then on the turn comes raise, and they both have a set. So against the sets we should have called. But I just thought that we are not going to have a lot of nut outs. So I folded when he called. If he would not have called, I would have definitely called, because his raising range is really made hand heavy. Ace 10 sets and so on. I'm giving up on table 2. Nothing is going on, so I can sing for you guys. We're going to combine karaoke and poker coaching. So there's going to be the words for the songs here on the down. And you all can sing along. Wouldn't that be nice? Table 3, if no one bets, then I'm going to call. And probably this guy is such an active one that I'm going to call this turn, but that bet sizing is rarely straight. But I don't think raising, oh, they all call. At least we get a huge prize, and no one should have a straight. So I think we can call. And board pairs, but it's not our pair. And they all check. And he had a straight. Woo. On the outside table we had aces, everyone calls, and we missed the flop. You heard the story. And here McEcky, McBacon and McEcky. He's a shorty, so I'm going to get it in with kings. And he had ace king jack deuce. We are in a decent shape unless the ace comes. Oh, it comes on the turn. Well, we had him pre-flop. Hundalover open from the button. If big squeal folds, I'm going to 3-bet him. he is one of the candidates that we can 3-bet with these type of hands. Oh, how at work? Because we have double. No, we have only just the cut shot. But there's insane amount of turns that actually improve our hand, so I'm fine. But if he raises, then he has us. But we have a lot of folding equity versus him. Big fan of Anssi Kela. Oh, come on. I'm trying to have a standard here. No, I'm not a big fan of Anssi. VPIP 75, I'm value betting my weak aces. Their calling range is so wide. And of course now there are, if he has ace, he has us, but he's still going to call the turn. These type of players he can call with, he probably doesn't have a 9, ace, because there aren't any worse ace. So he had pocket kings. I was just about to say that often these type of players call even with pocket kings there for 2 streets, and he did. King 9. And here we are with McEcky on SPR around 1. Jack 8 sucks, but you can have pocket kings, who knows. So I'm just flipping with him, and he has just an open ender. And he doesn't make it. Woo! Table 4, open, 3-bet from shorty. We told him is the board, have to fold. Yeah. And Mr. Eki is gambling. 10, 9, 6, 6. It's a good holder hand. It has pocket pair, it has 10, 9 suited, it has everything. On the outside table we win a small pot against Jordy. It kind of sucks that we don't have the good replayer. I'm trying to show you here what happened. I shoved pocket jacks pre-flop when Doozy, he is probably here on some other tables if I remember right. Just can't see him now. The fact is that he was really short 2.90, slightly less 2.70 in his stack, and he 3-bet me, and he has 3-bet me with a lot of rundowns, small rundowns, and he's really aggressive. So I'm ahead of his range, and if he happens to have overpair, I have decent equity. But as he has these really crappy hands too, I don't want to fold. Jack 10 7 is a bit too strong to fold, and with calling we set up a really tough flop decisions. So I think we can shove pre-flop. We are tiny favorite over his range, so let's push that equity. And now we had him crushed. And table 1 is dying, so I'm probably going to close it. Here we have the second nut flush blocker, but he calls the flop, so I'm just giving up. I'm not going to barrel this derby guy. You can have the pot. I don't care. I'm going to actually check fold this flop because king jack with the suit just hits his range so often, and I don't have anything. So I'm, even with the aces, you can check fold. And here we flop cut shot and not flush draw. Let's call and see what happens. I'm going to call. I don't think he has full houses that often when he donks. And he had just a king, so yep, he didn't have. That's a really strange donk bet. I'm actually going to play with him. He's seems to be such a nice guy to play with. I hope he plays with me. Now he started to fold. No, what is wrong with him? Table 3 we have top pair and wrap. One of the best things we have hit today. And here we get huge check raise. We block all the flush draw outs, right? Basically, if he has king of diamonds and king high flush draw, he's crushing us. So just have to fold here. Double suited kings, PL4. I'm just going to 3-bet to give Eki a chance to flip with me. And decent hit, top set and not flush draw. Let's see if Honda Lover gives us action. Probably doesn't, because we have the... I'm going to make a really small bet. So he cannot resist calling if he has a club draw or ace in his hand. And table 1 just die. Oh, he shoves. Nice. And he had just an ace with the flush draw. Nice shove, mister. Here I'm going to make a raise. We have top pair, big flush draw, and a wrap. Oh, wow, I did see that. I hate it because I don't have any timer and the time bank doesn't work automatically. I don't even know where do I get my time bank. Well, there was some block somewhere. But yeah, we opened double pair and folded the 3-bet, which is a bad way. We should call it always. But yeah, last time when I had coachings here on microgaming, the same problem was then that there's no timer, so I timed out a lot of hands. Should pay attention. One good thing at PokerStars is that they have the automatic time bank. Here, when he calls the flop, not sure what he can have, but he is not folding it on the turn or river if he has ace or pocket kings. And I just said that if he had pocket kings. Table 2, I'm going to donk on double paired board, have a huge folding equity. But he calls me, which means that he often has kings or aces. King in his hand or aces. So I'm just giving pot to him. You can have it. Pocket queens. Oh Christ. Well, pocket queens is almost as good as pocket aces. Of course it has the problem if ace comes on the board. Okay. But even if he calls with king, aces, queen, jack and tens, even then our donk bet is profitable. So I have to play against the range. And let me see if we can find some other tables. And I opened one PLO10 table. Well, this PLO4 is not that interesting because there are only 2 guys that want to gamble. So I'm going to open this one. Remember guys that the Twitch chat is also open. If you want to comment in there, feel free. We need topics to discuss. And we are going to host the coachings here on 24HBet for a few weeks at least. And let's see, of course, we have to mix the stakes. Sometimes open PLO20, sometimes PLO4, PLO10, whatever, but it's a nice change. We have played so much in the stars. Sometimes there's a lot of regulars, like now. There's only one regular on the table. It's this, where's the Honda lover? He's not even on the tables now. Well, he was the only one that we were, I'm not worried, he was a fish too, but sorry Honda. But he was the only one with at least decent stats. And the rest of here have really wild stats, so there's definitely a ton of value playing here. But of course, when a lot of pots are 5-way, 4-way against calling stations, you just have to wait until you hit the hand and then start to put money in. I'm here only 20 cents into a pot of 1.3. We have top pair, we have backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw. I'm going to call once. Let's peel for the third and see if it improves us. And it does. Oh, we have to check, sorry. Here we hit, should have bet more. Just to get some value. On the outside table, we are getting the money in against McEcky. And when he just calls the flop, he has so many flush draws. But when he checks the turn, he shouldn't have straights often. I'm going to check, flushes often. So I'm going to check call the river, but he had a straight. And here on table 1, PLO happens. We flop the set, we bet, turn completes the straight and flush, and river completes everything else. So whatever he had on the flop, he has us beat, so we just have to fold. And now we get 3-bet from CES, and we flop queen. Let's see what happens. He's probably not folding, and if he has overpair, we have 40% equity. I think better is to call, so if the turn is 5 or deuce, we can fold. And of course here we even pick up the cut shot, so we have to call, and he has aces, and we don't make 2 pairs or better. But we get better value by calling because he's not folded. If we would have any folding equity, then shoving the flop is a good thing. Because when we have 40% equity versus his range, then he doesn't need to fold that often. Here on number 1, I'm just betting this, hoping that they might fold some small pocket pairs, but both call, so that plan failed. Probably should not even bet this one. Not sure if people fold pocket pairs, because the software here on the bottom right corner shows full house, so people don't ever think what kind of full house it is. They just see full house, have to call. Ooh. I wouldn't be surprised that if one of them has some kind of pocket tens here. But he had a 4 of kind. Makes sense. Unless the downswing ends today, and if we broke up a losing session, it's kind of sad because I mean a lot of our losses today have been the hands where we have the odds to call our opponent bets. It's plus EV calls, but we just miss the draws and have to fold on the river. It's kind of situations where you know that you make plus EV decisions, but your EV line and winning line just goes down. Of course, if you are really worried about your EV line, just get the money in on the flop so your EV doesn't change a lot. I'm going to make a really small raise here to induce something, and if Derby calls and he shoves, then Derby is pot committed and we can get nice three-way pot here. Because there are still half of the deck that completes some kind of draw. So I don't want to give really that cheap. Of course it's a pot, but and he calls and turn completes something, but he pots the flop 65 and 8. He should have a lot of made hands in his range. So if he have 5, 6, then be it, but you can easily have a hand like aces there and just doesn't want to fold on the flop. That's what some players do if they have pocket aces. They think that bet folding aces is so weak that they shouldn't do it. So they end up wasting a lot of money by calling flop folding any turn. But in PLO, you have to check fold aces. Even if you 3-bet pre-flop, you have to check fold on some flops because your opponent range just crushes your hand. On the outside table we have a player with 81 VPIP. Oh dear. Here we have Doozy with VPIP 93. Christ. Where's Dolly? Here is Dolly. I'm going to give him a red pointer because he's such a nit. Azibduk, whatever he is, he's going to have a green one. Well, he had before, but it doesn't change to other tables. Isalover VPIP 47, he's going to be a green one. I'm not sure if you have this possibility of adding friends. Is there can't find it. But if there's a friend option, it's definitely good to use. And we wait. And we wait. And we wait. King, Queen, Jack, 8, Rainbow, just going to fold it. On the outside table we have quads versus calling station. I'm just going to bet big. Either he is afraid of pairing board or he isn't. And this time he was. Table 4, premium queens, missed the board, check fold, move on. But it goes check, and now we have probably doesn't want to raise when this guy bets. I'm just going to call. If he bets the river in a big bet size, and I'm just going to fold 30 cents. I have to call. And he had just ace, wow. And this is actually one of the hardest thing in PLO. Oh, nice. Not flush draw and wrap. Oh, open ender, just sorry. Not flush draw and open ender. This is the hard thing, because in here, when he bets flop turn and even river, even small sample size, we know that his turn bet is for value. Deuce is, oh, I'm going to check. Oh, he doesn't bet, kind of sucks. Well, let's get some value from his flushes, and we do. Nice. Oh, what did he have? Yeah, 7 high flush. The thing is that he bets for value, but the problem is that his idea of value range is different than what would we think as value range. Are we ahead of his range or not? Well, he doesn't have king 5, so I'm going to shove and get the value, and he fold. Well, so often these really bad, like these asymptotic 62 and 6, they can I'm going to raise here as a bluff. He should, if he calls with trips, full houses, over pairs, and 6-7, he's still going to fold often enough. And that ace is an interesting card. And when he bets the river, I'm pretty sure that he doesn't have pocket kings or queens. So he doesn't really have air in his range. So I have to fold, even when we have 2 pairs. But when you raise those flops, it's if you think about their range distribution, they are going to have a folding hand often enough to justify the raise. And when they call, it kind of sucks. Then they have a hand. Oops, mean raise. Nice. I was supposed to open larger deuce is, well, he's folding 57, so half a pot bet, going to fold often enough. And table 4, we have a lot to hit, but we don't have any nut outs. So I don't want to make the pot bigger in a 5-way pot. Just check and see if we improve on the river. And we do. We make a flush and trips. Really hard to get value from anything, so I just check. So at least for the few hands we had something going on. Can't even remember where I was with this zip-up kind of guy, because it's like if the flop is king 7, or let's say the flop is king 3 5, and you bet the flop, they call. Then on the turn comes the king, and you bet. They might actually raise aces as a value because they think that now when the board pairs, then the aces is even stronger now. So they are raising for value. Whereas I think that it's often raising as a bluff or semi-bluff. So it's just their idea of value betting is totally different from us. And one of the problems with these passive players is that on the river, when you have two pairs, it becomes problematic when they suddenly bet and doesn't represent almost anything because they have sets in their range. They are really good in slow playing sets, really bad spots to do that, but they do it. So they are not representing a lot. And at the same time, they have like try aces in their range. So often when they suddenly bet the river and you have hand like top 2 or middle set, it becomes quite annoying because you know that they can easily have a hand that you beat, but they can easily have a hand that you don't beat. And then you just have to wonder that should I call or should I not? And when it comes to session that most of the time they have the set, it's really hard to believe that you are doing the right decisions. Well, no one has said anything in half an hour, so it's time for you guys to say something. Now you have seen microgaming poker for an hour. Can you or have you found any differences to PokerStars? Something that I have missed? Of course, one difference is that rate is higher in here. PokerStars has the lowest rate on PLO. Like at micros, the rate is 4 point something. Here, I'm not even sure what the rate is. Is it 5 or 6%? At some networks, the rate might be 6%. So the difference between 6 and 4.5 is that basically 6% with 20% rate back is same as 4.5% without any rate back. So even if you get a 50% rate back deal into a network that has rate of 6%, stars with 30% is better. You pay less rate there. So often if you have to decide where do you play, you have to consider about the volume and traffic. Does it have enough traffic for you? It's impossible to give absolute answers because if you play 4 tables, then most networks will have enough traffic. But if you want to multi-table 12 tables, then you need a lot more. I'm going to check call the river here against Doozy. Oh, his river accuracy is only 25. Should have bet. Now let's see what he had. If he had ace, then might have good value. someone is making food on the other side of the monitor. So don't worry about that. So yes, when deciding where to play, you have to think about the volume. Does it fit your needs? And then you have to think about the rate, because the rate is insane at micros. Like at PokerStars, you can easily pay 20 BBs per 100 hand. Now if the rate is 6%, it suddenly goes up to 25 BBs. So if you pay 25 BBs of rate without any rate back, and then suddenly you get 20% rate back, it means that your win rate goes instantly up 5 BB per 100 hand, which is huge for most. So it's definitely something to think about. And of course, if the games are really soft, like there's huge fishes at those stakes, then it probably is profitable to play even with the higher rate. But you always have to consider it. Don't think that, oh, the difference is just 1%, it doesn't matter. Well, it's a huge, like 4% and 5%, the difference is 20% actually. So that's 20 BBs or 24 BBs. So the difference is 4 BBs. So the other way around, playing with 5% rate means that your win rate goes down 5 BB per 100 hand. And most of us, if someone says that I have an instant secret for you that can increase your win rate 5 BBs per 100 hand, we would be super happy to have it. And that's one reason why I often think that rate back is your winnings at micros. Some people just think that winnings is pre-rate back, and that should be calculated. But the problem is that on some other network you might be paying almost 10 BBs more as actual rate than on the other side. So it would not make sense that when you are playing with smaller rate percentage, your win rate is higher, and with the same play on the other network it would be lower. So I would say that always include your rate backs, and that's the actual profit that you make on the tables. Table 4, we miss it. Outside table we have a over €4 portable. Lost it to 2 pairs. Wow. People cold calling 3-bet with pocket jacks. That's how you play hold'em in PLO tables. We had 53% equity on the turn. Someone on the tweet said that when I asked about what is your opinion about microgaming, someone said that he likes it or she likes it. Yeah, I like it too. Of course, we haven't made profit today. That always sucks, but yeah, we have seen quite many mistakes from opponents compared to stars. And on table 2 we have the bottom set. Well, against these guys, bottom set is a value hand. So I'm just potting the turn. We even have a cut shot to a straight, but we win that. But yeah, here we have top pair, over pair, nut flush draw, cut shot. We have everything in the world. And now we have almost the nuts. Even on straights we have around 50% equity, so just bet. And here doozy, yeah, this is a guy who shoves all kinds of draws and rundowns, so I'm just going to bet it in pre-flop. Because I don't want to be able to fold the flops. And queen jack deuce 6, once again he has really crappy hand and he's drawing dead. So yeah, because the problem is like, if the board is 7-3-3 rainbow and he shoves, I'm going to fold and I have the best hand. That's why I don't like to call. If I'm pretty sure that his 3-bet range is ace heavy, then calling is definitely a better option. But here, just taking, and I don't know when he learns. Because I have twice shoved versus him with hand and queen jack deuce 6. It's just really hard to find a reason. Well, probably he's just gambling 96, 59, 21. So he's always loading $3 when he loses, and probably just gambling wants to flip. Might be tilting, who knows. But yeah, if you want to play short stack at micros, I haven't yet seen a strategy that I could say that, yeah, that makes sense, it's profitable. So if someone has a strategy how you can make profit short stacking at micros, please tell me, because I'm dying to find out. A lot of people say that they are playing short stack with 40 BP stack, because that way they can make a lot of money at micros, but the problem is that you are never a huge favorite pre-flop. That's how the hold'em sort strategy works. That you push your pre-flop equity. But in PLO you don't have pre-flop equity edge. And now on the flop often you might be flipping, even if you get a small edge with your ranges, when you pay 20 BPs as rate, it just kills your equity. Here we hit the flush draw and the 9 is a pivot card. So I'm going to peel the turn. Because often the turn gives us a lot of equity. And now he doesn't barrel the turn, which is really strange. Wow. He should barrel the turn with his king jack 5, because I have a lot of flush draws, I have some straight draws. If I were him, I would actually fire the river, the turn. Huge folding equity and doesn't give free cards for the draws. Table 2 we drew 3-bet aces and we flop overpair and the flush draw against. Wow, he don't. Well, I'm going to call. I'm not going to fold. And now it's just, he probably has a lot of queen XXX type of hands. Of course, he might have queen then, and he tries to check raise. I'm not going to bet, I just check. And if he bets the river, I'm going to fold. Because the range that I put him on is queen XXX a lot of times, and then he most often has 10 or 8 in his hand too. But he didn't, he had 9-6-4 and he lost his balls. Didn't bet turn, didn't bet river. On Twitch, 12L1 is asking, do I have a link where rake of different sides is compared? No, I don't. And haven't seen, I've seen calculations between different win range and rakes when someone compared Zoom Hold'em and Zoom PLO at PokerStars. But I haven't seen anywhere someone would have collected the rake from different sides. That would be interesting. I'm not actually sure what the rake is at different sites at the moment, because they change it all the time, and when they make the rake higher, they don't really make a noise about it. But it's easy to see, just open hand history and calculate how big the rake is. Curriculum calls the flop and turn. Either he has a weak main hand that we are crushing, or he has the flush. So I'm going to check back and see if I hit my 10 outer. Oh, I don't. But if he bets, he's such passive 56. He wouldn't bet pocket kings. Not sure he would bet queen, but he would definitely bet a flush, although it's a bad bet. Oh, there we have a time bank. I'm 19 out of 60. I'm going to fall. He has a lot of flushes in his range. Here on level 1, I bet the flop and Derby calls. I'm going to fire again and make him fold. All kind of crap, and now we actually make the top pair. So let's see if he has a straight trips or something worse. And he has pocket kings and he insta-calls the turn. I was trying to make him fold the turn, because often people call with overpair ones because they think it's weak to fold, but he insta-called the turn. I'm going to actually make a note out of that. Oh, we have an old note of him that he's low placed while he 3-bet. Can make a note. Yeah, this is the problem. Every time when there's a table open, it stops. Larry sign is asking table 2, would I have got 2 streets with my small flush if it would have came in turn, and why? I think I remember the hand. It was the one where we had the pivot card in here. If we call the flop and flush comes and he bets, I would call once, because otherwise it would be really nasty to call with the flush and then just check fold. I would have checked for sure, and if he bets I would call once. Then if he doesn't have flush he would not barrel the river, but he can bet the turn. People bet with sets, people bet with bluffs when the flush comes. Like I bet flush in turns. Like if I was on the button and someone calls the flop, yeah, he has straight draws in his range, he has flush draws, and he has king XX type of hands in his range, he has 9XX hand in his range, and so on. So when the flush comes, he can bet and make all the weak made hands fold, make straight draws fold, and so on. So people fire and barrel the flushing turns quite often. Rake on the PokerStars seems to be really high. Well, it is high, but it's the lowest in the market. So go figure how much it's in other sites. Yes, especially in PLO, PokerStar has the lowest rate of any open networks. But yet, it's insanely high. Here on table 3, kind of spot that we can make Kyyberi fold. But now the question is, does he fold? And he does, so yeah, now we win the pot. If this Isa Lover baby was in the pot, I would not have bet, because his calling ranges are so damn wide. So it's just value bet. When you have these huge calling stations, just value bet the crap out of them. And I'm going to fold on table 2. Oh, it's double paired. Oh my god. What have I done? I just checked that it's rainbow jacks. It was double paired hand. Stupid me. Well, I hope we missed the flop so we saved money now. But that was a stupid mistake. So now someone can comment in year 2016 watching my own videos and, oh, what if he's folded Jack 4-4? How can you be a coach? That's always funny. Someone watches 2 hours of live play and finds one marginal spot and then just laughs at, oh, what a fish. Folded ace queen Jack 3 there on the blinds. Oh, we had a 3-bet from Doozy. I'm going to call. I just want to stack him off once more. And we actually hit middle pair and gut shot. But he's the problem. Let's see a free turn. And boom! We have the nuts with the redraw. Let's print some money. Oh, and he bets big. Woo! Can we just call? Are we afraid of anything? I think I'm going to small play. Please don't pair. Please don't pair. Almost paired. Well, we have the second nuts and blockers to nuts. So now when we bet, it really looks like a bluff. So he might snap call with 2 pairs. And he does! Oh, he have the same straight. Oh, bummer. Did he make it on the river? Oh, yes. He had just nothing. 2, 3, oh, well. If we have raised, he would have folded because he didn't have anything. So, actually might be that if he didn't have made the straight on the river, he might have bluffed it. So, oh, he's disconnected. Nice. And he's disconnected. What is going on? Everyone is disconnected. I'm going to make a min bet if he's disconnected. Oh, he came back. Well, I can bet for value with high 2 pairs. Doozy is shoving, so I'm folding. I'm betting there, but there's a big difference when he takes passive line pre-flop and then is aggressive on the flop or the other way around. Now we have the wrap, so let's just put money in the pot. And I'm going to fire the turn. And we have 13 outs. almost 30%, so we can definitely call pot-sized bet. We have implied odds, so let's see how it goes. And we make the nuts, which is nice, and now we have to shove. If we don't shove, it's a mistake. And he has a set, and we win the pot. But yeah, I think his call on the flop is fine. You can see the safe river. I mean safe turn. But this time we actually had a hand that. The thing is that, of course, now we won a big pot. But when he has a set and the money goes in before the river effectively on the turn, he's committed. Pre-flop is probably a mistake. So yeah, that's one. But even if he has not ace, ace, 9, 9, 10, it would not be a mistake to play pocket nines here. And once he hit the set and on the turn he just raises us and we call, and on the river we continue, he didn't make a mistake. And if he doesn't make a mistake, we don't win any money in the long run. So now we won $14 from him, but he didn't make a mistake. So we shouldn't be super happy. Of course, we are happy that we won the pot, but in the long run we didn't make any money. And here I'm betting the value from Derby. He's such a strange guy. One option is to check call and let him bluff the river, but on there he often has some kind of made hand or air. And he doesn't often have air because the flush draw on the flop, well, I can open it, sorry. The flush draw on the flop game, so there can be a lot of misdraws. So his range is either flushes or made hands, so he doesn't have a lot of bluffing range. In PLO, I think the rake is higher. I'm not sure if there's any micro hold'em players. What is your average rate? Because in PLO it's around 20 BPs per 100 hand if you play tight aggressive. If you play super nitty, then the rate is slightly lower. But 15 to 20 BP is pretty normal, even at stars. Outside stars, 20 BP or even more is just normal. So some of you have to play hold'em. So check your rate. I have no idea, but I would be amazed if rate in hold'em is 20 BPs per 100 hands. Top pair, value bet, and table 4 died. Now let's see how much there's action. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's actually 6 tables open in PLO10. So seems that towards the late evening people wake up. So now there's a lot of tables open. And there are actually some deep tables. Of course, no one is playing them at the moment, but I'm going to open one PL. Oh, I am in the table already, sorry. No, there are no free spots. Oh, there's one. There's only 2 players, so I'm going to join it. There's Kyyberi. He was in here, sort of regulars, and then there's a short stack, which we should have edge over. Going to fold on the small blind, king, queen, then 3. 3-card hand out of position against open and call. It's going to create a lot of problems, and of course now when he actually 3-bets it would be even more problems. On table 2 we hit the over pair, middle pair, and open ender, and now we pick the flush draw, so it's betting time. And for Kyyberi it's folding time. Aces on table 3. Where are all the hold'em players? Someone out there has to be playing micros hold'em, or at least have a hand in their database. I'm going to stack off against Oricom. We need 1.37 in the pot of 4.3 or something. So unless if he has 2 pairs, then we are screwed. And now he has actually 2 pairs and flush draw, but we suck out on the third, and he sucks out on our suck out on the river. So yeah, go figure. But his range is definitely wider than just 2 pairs and sets. And someone pots this flop. I'm going to fold. We have the straight, but probably if he has the flush we are drawing dead, and there are people behind us who might have the flush. So I'm not a fan of situations when we draw when we can be drawing dead. Top pair and cut shot. Going to call once. Let's see if he continues on the turn. He doesn't. We check, and we make 2 pairs on the river. And when he checks, we value bet against always 9 beats as well. Happy he folded. Happy, happy, happy. Table 2, they fold. And let's limp on table 3. I'm going to play for 10 or 15 minutes. And there's answer on Twitch at no limit 5. The rate is around 10 BPs per 100 hands, so it's half of what it's in PLO. So yeah, there's the difference. And table 3, no one bets the flop, so no one has ace probably. So I'm just going to fire the third. And they are just folding a ton. On the outside table, we had a hand where we 3-bet aces and we value bet the flop, and turn river goes check check. And he has ace queen jack 7 rainbow, and he closed 3-bet. Wow. Wow. That's bad. And then on the flop he calls, and on the turn he doesn't bet, on the river he doesn't bet. So basically, when the hand goes like this, that when we are ahead we get money into the pot, and when we are behind we don't lose any money, then the hand is just perfect for us. So we should be just happy. Yeah, we lost the hand, but it was perfect for us. Couldn't be any more happier about the hand. And Kyyberi raises us we have just overpair and backdoor, so just fold. Wow, I have to show this hand because I just love it. We open pre-flop, he calls, on the flop is ace ace 4, he checks, of course we bet as a bluff, and he calls. So once he calls this flop, I'm kind of sure that either he has a flush draw or an ace. Krypton is so tight that I don't want to 3-bet because he is so tight. I'm just going to call. If he was any decent opener, definitely going to 3-bet this hand. Here I'm pretty sure should we raise or should we call? I mean, he's so tight and we have a zillion outs to the straight. I'm just going to call. More passive line because I don't want to stack off. When he fires the turn, he probably has decent hand on the flop. Yeah, he had a top pair and 2 pairs on the turn with the flush draw and the cut shot. He had everything. So on this hand that is on the replayer, of course, no one can see anything because the replayer is so bad. When he calls the flop, he has ace or a flush draw very, very often. And I actually make the straight on the turn, which is super nice. Bluffing on table 4, when ace comes, no one bets, so they don't have ace often. So I'm potting the turn here. Of course, now you can't see it, but I did. Because if he has ace, he often doesn't have ace 4, ace 3. So he has trip aces. So I bet the pot on the turn kind of value from the ace. He might call with the flush draw, who knows. He calls and river is a 5, doesn't really change. The only hand we are worried here is ace 5 and he has a lot of more aces. So I bet the river big as a value with my straight. And he thinks for a few seconds and calls with ace king. And we got really nice value on the turn and river. Yeah, as Tetutu is saying, the rate percentage is same almost. I'm not sure if stars actually decreased slightly the rate of pot limit games at micros. Might be. Here, Curriculum 3 bets. I'm just going to get it in. He might be gambling with last money, and if we call the pot is 2.25 and he has 50 cents behind, so I'm just going to get it in. And he doesn't have aces. Wow. And did we win? Did we win? Oh, we do win. Woo! Can't even remember what I was saying just before that. Huge flip. Same situation on the outside table. Playing against Sinina, and here I'm going to shove. He has a lot of flush draws in his range. Of course, now he has, well, we actually beat him on the turn, but he just makes one of his minion outs. Yeah, we were ahead, but we had 43% on the sit out and for the queen. We had 43% on the turn, but when the SPR is 1 on the turn, I think we can shove. Not sure if we should play heads up here in PLO10. Of course, I should be aware of what the rate is. Like in stars, in a heads up, what the rate is lower. But at some networks, even in heads up, it takes full rate. So, not sure what the rate is here. Because if the rate is full, then playing heads up at micros it's just insane. I once played at iPoker, I played PLO4 heads up for a while. And after I played for a while, I found out that both of us had paid 100 pp's in rate. So we both paid one buy-in as a rate in a really short period. So it was pretty obvious that it's not profitable to play heads up even when the opponent is super bad, because the rate just kills you. That's why often people say that you have to be playing heads up at least at PLO50 or higher, because then there's the rate gap, which means that the actual rate is much lower. Smartest poker wisdom. Well, it's the first poker wisdom that I've heard, and it still makes sense. Don't bluff the calling station. That's the universal poker truth number 1. And if you remember that, then you're going to make a lot of money. Or actually, you're going to save a lot of money. And here we get a 3-bet from this semi-aggressive guy. Let's call and let's hit the straight. Sounds like a good plan. And I'm just going to get it in. And let's see what he has. He has the nuts. So we are drawing pretty thin. And he had even redraw to higher. So that was sort of unfortunate. Both us making straight, and we actually make the same straight that he has on the river, but he had a redraw. So flopping nut straight and redraw versus second nut straight in 3-bet plot, that is unlucky for us. But at least we know that he's 3-betting all kinds of garbage, like 3 hands, yes, 3-bet 10 times, and 5 of those at least haven't been aces. So we know that he's 3-betting the wide range, which means that we can start to value bet as 4-bet with wider range. Here's Finnish Timpa. I'm going to bet half a pot on the flop, and he makes min raise. Now is perfect time to start to level myself that okay, I blocked the set of 10s. He might be watching actually some of my videos where I explained that it's super profitable to raise. He's Finnish, so he might have seen my videos, but we don't have any reads on him, and min raise. If he has a bluff, congratulations, you won the pot. I'm not worried losing 1 or 2 pots against him, because if he keeps making that, then I'm sure that I will see it on the HUD and I will make note of it myself, and then I can exploit him. And I would assume that I can adjust faster than he can adjust to my adjustment, which means that I can exploit him more than he can exploit me, if he had a tendency of raising those often with min raise. If that made any sense. Oh, clock is almost 23:30. Now when we have almost 300 BBs here on level 1, I'm not sure if we actually, we didn't make profit because we lost a stack on the outside table. Here's an interesting spot. We have top 2 and open-ender. Oh, no action, so it wasn't an interesting spot. Sorry. And for Larry, some other nuggets of wisdom. First time when someone said that, or I don't know where I saw it for the first time, is that the only way to make money is that if our opponent makes more mistakes than we do. Like winning a pot with aces versus king pre-flop doesn't make you money in the long run. That was one eye-opener, because then I realized that if I had a set over set in 3-bet pot and I win the pot, I shouldn't be happy. If I lose the pot, I shouldn't be unhappy, because it will even out. So what I need to be looking for is the spots where I can force my opponent to make mistakes, or I can spot a mistake from my opponent. So that really changed the way I see poker, and suddenly if I shove kings at hold'em pre-flop and someone calls me with aces, previously I was really mad that, oh, why did I shove the kings? Of course he had aces because he 3-bet me, and so on, and oh, why do I always lose the pot, and oh, it sucks, and that kind of stuff, and it saves my mental game. I can just say that, oh, it's a setup, let's move on. Not interested even in the result. So that's probably one big thing that has affected me as a poker player a lot. Now here up in the call we are super deep with big screen, and he's a really straightforward player. So I'm sure we can make a lot of good decisions against him post-flop. And I'm going to call once. Oh, ace is a bad card, unless he checks. Because now I'm going semi-bluff. If he has pocket kings, he's going to fold it here. And he might even fold some weak ace, who knows. He's so tight. At least he knows the time back, or he has aces and he thinks how to get the value out of that fish. And he raises, so he has aces. I'm going to think just for acting. So he might think that it's a hard decision. So yeah, he had aces this time, but if his opening range is 8%, then aces is going to be just 1/3 of that range or something less. I called here on table 4 because I thought it was PLO10, so another time I made a mistake with the bet size, and I thought it was a min open, but yeah. Now we hit the set, I'm just going to don't. Here we get 3-bet from the tied one. We have the premium ace cracking hand. So let's make money. And here we get the money in with the bottom set versus just some backdoor stuff. And here, when we have 9-8 and hard draw, we are actually a favorite over a pair straight. And now when he calls, I think he either has some crappy hand or he has the nut flush. So I'm going to check back. And wow, that's an interesting card. We are not folding. If he bets, I call. If he checks, I bet. And I have to call. Of course, no other options. And he had just the 2 pairs. 3 pairs. So nice. If we bet the turn, he probably folds, or at least he should fold his 2 pair. Now we can value. Whee! Yeah, that for Larry, it's a long sentence. Most poker players are still lazy bastards. They don't like to do the homework. But yes, if you have a player that you don't like to play against, then figure out why. What does that player do that makes you uncomfortable? Because that's when you learn a lot. Like, if you hate to play against aggressive players, then write down why. Why do those aggressive players give me a hard time? Because that's the most common problem in PLO. One is playing aces. Well, after you do some mathematical stuff, that shouldn't be a problem. But one of the biggest problems that people ask is, how do you play with maniacs and really aggressive players? And find out why. They give me pressure and my range is not strong enough. I have to fold or I have to get it in lively. Okay, why is that a problem? I don't know how to think in ranges, so I don't know when I should stack off lively. Okay, now you can improve. And maybe you can use aggression yourself in similar spots. Who knows? Or playing 300 BB deep. Like, if you always reload back to 100 BBs when you have a deep stack situation, why is that a problem? Okay, deep stacks, I cannot commit myself on turn, I have to play poker on the river. Why is that a problem? I don't know what to do. Okay, now the problem is you don't define ranges, so you don't know what to do. Once you define ranges, oh, he had a missed blind. I thought, why did he put more money than us? If you don't define ranges, then playing rivers is really hard, because most or pretty much all of our river and turn decisions should be based on our opponent range. So now, if you go on, you'll find a lot of situations where you can improve a lot. So yeah, that's a good wisdom. Oh, now when we are finishing up the session, now everything starts to happen. Table 3, I'm going to bet here. When someone opens pre-flop, they are rarely check raising the flops. They are check folding or check calling. And when they are check calling, they have a weak range, so I should have a lot of folding equity. And even if he calls, I don't even know how many outs I have. Everything from 8 to ace and spades. And now we have the nuts, so we bet again. He might put us on missed flush draw and he snap calls with some kind of made hand. Or who knows, he might even raise. Even that happens sometimes. Trips with nut kicker. and I have to set this one proceed. Otherwise we are here in the morning. And we can erase from Doozy. He's the crazy guy. So yes, get it in. And what does he have? He has King Ace Jack deuce. Do we suck out? Do we know? We both have Ace King Jack, but we had the 7, so we were almost free rolling. And we lost 13 cents actually. There you see. At PokerStars, if the pot is split pot, you don't pay any rate. And in PLO you will have split pots every now and then. Straight versus straight is the most common, or pre-flop all-in with aces versus aces. That's one reason why having no rate on split pots is good, because when you have aces versus aces, probably the money goes in pre-flop. So you have a 200 pp pot, and most of the time the pot is tied. Now, if you pay 5% rate from split pots, it means that when you get 100 pp's in, you have to pay 10 pp's as rate out of that 200 pp pot. Which means that every time when you put aces versus aces, you take a 50-50 flip where the winner is going to lose 10 pp's. And that's actually insane. Wow. Probably one reason of not to stack off with bad aces, just call and hope he folds the flop. Rate sucks. And here table 2, if they check, I'm just going to bet for protection and for a bluff. Semi-bluff. Make them fold some hands that have a huge equity. Oh boy, he thinks. It's gold and he folds. Oh, small blind. Well, let's play one more orbit. I'm going to find my poker tracker. What is our result today? Oh boy. PLO4 and PLO10. Yep. Well, could be worse. But yeah, I'm just going to open one hand to see the rate. Here the pot is going to be, where's my calculator? The total pot is 81, so the pot is 184 minus 174.8. So I paid 9.8, so the rate is 5%. Yeah. No, it's not. Oh, I can't calculate. Or is it more? 184 times 0.055. No, it's probably 5%. At least it's pretty close to it. So the idea is that here's my graph for today. End up minus $6, EV minus $6, so everything's smooth. But here in the beginning we were down minus 35, so we ended up. Too bad the session ended. If we had continued, it probably goes up here. But yeah, if one of those hands where we were drawing, of course we hit one of those draws late in the session, so can't even complain about that. But as overall, the opponent made so many mistakes that we are definitely going to play plus EV poker here. Can't promise you winnings because I cannot really affect that straight, but we are going to make a lot of good decisions with the shared crowdfunding. 650 hands and the rate is $12, 10 euros. So even in PLO10 out of 400, under 500 hands, we have paid one buy-in as a rate. So that's like 20 BPs per 100 hands. And that is the rate. If there was no rate, then it would be so easy to just crush these games. I mean, if you are now playing break even, if there was no rate, then you would be crossing the stakes with 20 BB per 100 hands. That's why, if you're playing live poker at home or at bar or somewhere without a rate, always choose PLO if you can, because it's just insane how much edge you can have, especially if you are playing some at home with your friends, recreational players who don't even probably know the rules. You have so much edge in PLO. So minus 6.89. At least it was fun and a lot of nice players. It's actually nice to play on table where there aren't any good regulars. Like Poker Stars in PLO25 that we have played lately. There's 1, 2, 3 decent good regulars on the tables. And it's hard to find fishes. Now we had fishes all over the place. So please stay away from microgaming. Don't come there. Let me have it. But rate is higher, especially when the speedbot has full rate. Software is kind of crappy sometimes. Replayer is the worst possible ever, but there are fishes. So it's really, it's not that stressful to play. Like with those players, you can play pretty ABC poker most of the time and create a lot of money. So it's nice. Thank you, and on next Friday we are going to have the Finnish PLO. If you have any wishes, suggestions, feedback, whatever, just put it on the thread. And if you are watching this on Twitch and you are not a member of PokerMania, just join us today. You can see the link here, pokermania.com/forum. Just come there. And remember, if you want to come to play the microgaming, then you can join through us to 24HBet. I have only good things to say about that. You can get the Platinum VIP level instantly, which means 30% break back from the start, and the customer support is nice. They reply fast and everything is smooth. But now it's time to go to enjoy the weekend, and I'll see you on next Friday. Have a fun weekend and see you later. Bye bye.